Welcome to the Honor the Gift podcast. I am your host, Art McCracken. I specialize in transformational leadership and high-performance coaching. I've worked with hundreds of companies and thousands of individuals along the way, helping them achieve greater outcomes in all aspects of their life. I'm a speaker and writer, but at the end of the day, none of that holds a candle to being a husband, father, and friend. I believe the greatest gift in our mortal existence is the gift of choice. How we honor that gift will shape the eternities. I also believe that career is a way of being and not just a way of life. And when you figure that out, by learning to let go of the charades and leaning into growth, life just seems to unlock itself. I know this because I've lived it. Quite simply, my calling is people experience living true. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making the commitment to lean into growth. I honor your journey. Now, let's do this. Hello, friends, and welcome to another weekly episode. This week's topic dives into the power of now, the power of I can, and the choices available for service over self. All that I am and all that I am trying to become starts right now, in this moment. It's manifested in every thought, word, and deed. It is played out in our interactions with others and in the choices we make. While this may be extremely frustrating to us at times, take note of the promise of imperfection assigned to each of us in this mortal journey. In growth, we will certainly experience setbacks and tendencies of habit. It is on the go forward, however, that we also experience new opportunities to see, hear, feel, and sense the imbalance or dissonance in the now. When this happens, we again are faced with a choice to define or act upon who we are trying to become in that very moment. So how do we show up then in each moment with more intention and stronger choices that would indicate to us internally that we're making great choices that result in a progressive path? You may have heard the phrase, slow down to speed up. I'm a big believer in this concept. Slow down a bit, plan ahead, preload, be intentional. When we get caught up in the regularity and almost agnostic and habituated routine of the now of life, we just cruise through with limited intention and a rather fast-paced, absent existence. One of my good friends and colleagues, Chuck Blakeman, warns us in his book titled Making Money is Killing Your Business, that we be careful not to let the tyranny of the urgent outweigh the priority of the important. So therefore what? What opportunities does this provide for us? I am. How do we describe and define ourselves? Typically, it has to do with our place or circumstance in life, our beliefs, the product of our choices, what or who we are trying to become, defined by our present actions at face value, usually and even at times described by what we perceive others might think of or say about us. There's an enormous power in right now. We have full control and opportunity to act in this moment from a place of confidence and commitment to our best self. So the two phrases I am and we are, both are full of opportunities for a present manifestation of growth and solidified principle and foundations that are derived in the ongoing journey to become. Will I stop to serve someone in need? Will I look someone in the eyes and acknowledge their existence on the journey with me? Will I seek new opportunities for growth? Will I be gentle and meek rather than discontent and argumentative? Will I place others before myself? Will I seek guidance from others and be open to perspective not necessarily my own? The questions, and more importantly opportunities, could go on and on. Ultimately, what we slow down to be intentional with can and will define what we are in any given moment. What we stand for can be stood up for in that very moment. When others try to shift who you are or place their beliefs on you, choose what and how you will respond. Hello, friends. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying this week's episode. If personal growth and development is your thing, and you're here learning and leaning into growth, glad you're here, glad you're part of the community. If you want more of this, make sure and hit subscribe in this podcast platform or any of your favorite podcast platforms. Search for Honor the Gift podcast and make sure and subscribe so that it shows up each week with new updates, new conversations, new learning, new ideas and concepts, again, to help us all in this journey we call growth and how we make it through life and the way that we show up for others. Also, if you are looking for more information, deeper dives into some of these conversations, and just an update to stay in the loop, you can always go to choiceisthegift.com and click on subscribe, where you'll be in the loop on things that are upcoming and more updates on this podcast. Again, thank you for being here. Now let's get back to the episode. As you further flip it on its head, are you living in extensions of I can't or I can? If you are mired in the I can'ts, you'll find a tremendous amount of roadblocks on your journey, followed by very little accomplishment. If you live in the world of I can, you'll be sure to find plenty of failure, but a good dose of successes along the way. I can is an attractor, while I can't is a repellent when it comes to engaging others in your life. When it comes to serving others, instead of asking yourself, what can I get? Try engaging in the dialogue and associated actions when asking, what can I give? See in others what they might not see in themselves. I am this moment. Be who you know you can be for those you love. So I guess the challenge to each of us today is simply to acknowledge that in this moment, all we are is all we are. Be intentional. It means to start living. Remember that growth is always a choice. Until next week, my friends, make it a great one. And remember to always honor the gift.